What's up, everybody? Moped here from Eat, Sleep, Mix, Repeat, and welcome to the first segment of what I'm going to call Mix Hacks, which is going to be kind of informal. We're just going to talk a little bit. I'm just going to share with you guys some things that kind of seem to help me out, things that I don't know. I find that I think makes mixing a little bit easier. I talk about some I don't know. I don't really want to say theory, but I don't know. Like today we're going to talk about keeping it simple. Just we're talking 3 to 5 flavor recipes, even 2 flavor recipes. You'll see them. I post them all the time, and a lot of times they end up being my best recipes. And sometimes you're stuck in a rut, or just your recipes aren't coming out too good. You're trying to bust out these 10 flavor recipes and stuff, because I've done it, and sometimes they just don't come out right. And sometimes keeping it simple works. So before we really get into it, oh yeah, first of all, if you're on the Facebook group, you saw I posted a recipe called hazelnut donut. So I made a 30 mil and started vaping on this yesterday, and yeah, it's almost gone. So I'm loving it. Been working on it a long time. Started working on it in February, and it was all right. And then I'm gonna do a video on it, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But anyways, finally finished it. It's awesome. It's also posted on my ELR page and the ESMR ELR page, and just keep a lookout. I'll probably be doing a video hopefully in the next couple weeks. Oh yeah, and today's the last day we have to do videos in this fucking apartment because I'm moving on Saturday, which today's Thursday, I think. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, it's Thursday. So yeah, I'm moving in 2 days. Today's gonna be the last video in here. Hopefully get this lighting situation figured out, and it doesn't look too bad right now, which sucks that I have to video. I can finally start doing videos at nighttime, which would be a lot easier. Try and do them after my kids go to bed or something. But yeah, I'm digging that hazelnut donut. Is no joke. And then another thing today I got, so I went on Amazon. I ordered a few things, some good bottles, some little funnels, and then I got these guys, which are super cool if you mix with a scale. Because, I mean, they're basically like pipettes, but pipettes you can't clean out, and they're pretty much single use, and they're just kind of shitty. But these are really cool. They're really cheap, too. They're just plastic, but look at, of course I can't get it off now. Bam, they come apart. You can fucking clean these things out, which is awesome, so you can reuse them. So, because I bought 100 pack of pipettes, and I was a few weeks ago. It was maybe a month ago, and I feel like they're already almost gone, because I tried cleaning them out. You can't, because then you can't dry them out. They're just, they'll eventually get all nasty and whatever. But these, man, you just pop it off, and look at it. You just straight shot through. Just clean it out. Clean the fucking... sorry, I had a beer. Clean the topper out. Good to go. I think got a pretty good box. I think it was 20 or 25, and it's $6. It's on Amazon. Not bad. I dig it. Like it. Gonna make life a little bit easier. And then, oh yeah, so we're going to talk about keeping it simple today. So one reason keeping it simple really works out really well is a lot of flavors are actually a lot more complex than we think they are. If you go on Reddit and you read ID10T or Concrete River or any of those guys, you read their flavor notes for one flavor. Especially if it's a Flavora flavor or something, or Flavor Art. I mean, they have, this huge fucking 3-paragraph, all these crazy, I get this and these side notes. And that's just one flavoring. So you figure, why do you don't always need 10, 15 fucking flavorings at goddamn 0.03% a piece and all this, Sometimes, flavorings in their own, they carry a lot. And so you want to keep that in mind when you're mixing up a recipe. Is you want to keep in mind that depending on what flavor you're using, there might be a lot of notes within that flavoring. So you might only need 3 flavors or so to make, an actual pretty complex recipe. If you mix up my cucumber melon I just released, that's kind of like that, Melons are very complex. They're really hard to kind of nail down. They kind of have a lot going on. And then, the cucumber's a little bit more linear. It adds a lot of nice kind of effects to it, a nice crisp, fresh, but it's mostly kind of green. Actually, well, the Capella one's a little sweet too, but yeah, that's only a 3 recipe, and I've been getting I love that recipe, and I've been getting good feedback from it so far. So yeah, sometimes those like simpler recipes, it's just kind of the way to go. And then so if you're having some trouble and you're trying these like kind of bigger recipes that aren't happening, or you're just kind of stuck, you got mixer's block, just kind of like grab a couple flavors that you think are gonna go to good together, mix them up, knock out a couple like 3, 5 recipe flavors, even 2, like knock out some 2 recipe flavors, or 2 flavor recipes. What am I talking about? And if you do want to go for a more complex, like you want to create a recipe that has a lot of flavorings in it, then start out with your main flavorings, your main notes, like those things that you really want. Like I don't know, maybe you're doing some crazy like strawberry ice cream. Like nail down your strawberry and your ice cream first, and then start messing around after that, because if you just go into it with a ton of flavors, it's probably not going to taste right at first, and you're going to have a lot more trouble trying to figure out what you need to adjust, what you need to change, what you might need to take out and add in. It's a lot easier to revise if you kind of start off kind of simple, and then build from there. And then once you get that flavoring down, and then you can see like, do I really, you'll know more if you need the flavorings, if you need more flavorings, you'll know like what you need, because you'll have that simple recipe kind of down, and then you'll be like, all right, I want to add some bakeries to it, maybe it's like, oh, keys a little blueberry, or maybe it needs some tartness, I want to throw some raspberry in there or something like that. So, oh yeah, and then we'll just talk about some like issues that you have with mixing bigger recipes. All these flavorings are made they're kind of a collection of chemicals, and then so a lot of flavors share chemicals, like have the same chemicals, even though they could taste totally different. And if you're putting too much of like one chemical in your recipe, it's going to mute out your recipe, or it's going to do something funky, or you're going to have chemicals that aren't going to go well together, and it just causes more issues. And the more simple you keep it and you build off that simple recipe, the easier it is to see where your problems are coming from, what you need to change to make your recipe work out. So, and then unnecessary and useless inclusions. You just don't want to be putting things in your recipe you don't need to. It's a waste, and it might be giving you some off notes or something funky. Just keep it simple. And then kind of the last reason I put is, if you want feedback, the more flavorings you put in your recipe, the less chances are people are gonna have the stuff to mix it up. My 10 flavor recipes almost never get mixed up. Like John's pretty much the only person I know who's like really mixed them up, and that's because he has a lot of flavorings compared to me. But most of the time a recipe gets mixed up, it's one of those 3 to 5, man. Those 3 to 5 flavor recipes, people love them. And they won't give you bad, most people, people won't give you bad reviews because your recipe only has a few flavorings. Like, it's what you do with those flavorings. You'll see it in my reviews. Sometimes, like, I'll give a 3 flavor recipe, 4 out of 5 stars, and, a more complex recipe that I don't think came out as well, I'll only give it 2 stars. And then if you do have a more complex recipe and it doesn't taste good, then it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why do you have all these damn flavors? It doesn't even taste good. So it's going to get even a lower grade, At least, like, if you have, like, a 3 flavor recipe and it's like, oh, this is okay. It's like, oh, you just, add something to it and it'll make it awesome, So I'll probably give that a higher rating. So, don't be afraid to work on simple recipes, man. Don't be afraid to do it. And if you fucking nail down a recipe with 3 flavors, you nailed down a recipe with 3 flavors. Just easier on you. It's going to be easier to mix it up. More people are going to mix it up. Nothing bad comes out of it. So that's really all I got for you guys. It's nice hanging out in my apartment with you guys, but I am ready to move, get into this house. I'm not looking forward to moving. I hate moving. I moved so much in the last few years. Hopefully this will be the last time for a while. And hopefully I'll get something nice set up. These videos can get a little bit better. But till then, peace out, y'all.